Ever since we started on this path 5 weeks ago, we always knew where we'll end. It ends where it always ends on this channel, the origin place of the dish. More than 100 years ago, Fujian immigrants left their homes in search of a better life down south. They found employment in the tin mines and the rubber plantations in a port their friends told them about. And while their new life was better than the overpopulation, famine and civil unrest back home, make no mistake, it was still very harsh. They needed sustenance, but they had no money. How do you make food if you have no money? You get resourceful. You ingratiate the friendly neighborhood butcher into giving you his leftover bones instead of throwing them into the nearest swamp. Pair that with the herbs and spices that have fallen out of the heavy bags of produce that you have been carrying around all day, and you have history's very first Bak Kut Teh. Today we are in the mecca of Bak Kut Teh, Klang. So we'll be quadrupling the ante, quintupling the ante by visiting as many Bak Kut Teh places as we can. Although you guys will only see 2. The members will have seen the rest on Friday. What, you think the migrants are the only ones struggling? I too need some leftover bones. After which we'll be going back home to end the journey with 2 of the most prominent Bak Kut Tehs in Singapore. This is the most important episode of the Best Bak Kut Teh. Let's get it, guys. We are here in Klang at Her Bah Kut Teh. What if I told you all of the Bak Kut Tehs that we have had so far, herbal, pepper, dry, clay pot, are all fake Bak Kut Tehs? Because if you were to study their menu, and it won't take you too long, you realize that there aren't many choices. Because here in the land of Bak Kut Teh, they are very specific with what they want. In a joint like Her, they expect you to know exactly what you're going to order, and each of these bowls refers to a certain part of the pig. You can order Tua Kut, Ta Kut, big bone. How many times must I translate this? Or small bone, or the joints, or ka wan, jiao wan. Or you can go more basic like so rou, san chen rou, pai gu, zhu du. I went with arguably the 3 most popular cuts. And my goodness, very different from what we are used to. Let's start with ka wan. A lot of people, including us, have questioned the strange naming convention of the dish. But now, the answer is staring at us right in the face. Bak Kut Teh is great Bak Kut. Whether you went for Tua Kut, Sui Kut, Pai Kut, all the best on the table, in my opinion, ka wan, it is these pieces of amazingly braised meat. We are talking seasoning and fragrances perfectly permeated, perfectly balanced. We have tried so many in the series, right? This is by far my favorite braise. You taste the garlic, the herbs, the soy sauce, but smack in your face is this humongous richness of pork. I mean, it's obvious from the lard that's on the surface, which you would think would be incredibly cloying. But the combination of ingredients below that do so much heavy lifting that you can drink this like a soup. You want to drink this like a soup. There is no way they can give you a refill because this is very expensive. This braising liquid gold. I don't know how they balance drinking lard, but oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is the taste. Then you come down to the texture. Obviously, it depends on what you order, and I think it will be a great pity if you come here and order so rou or san chen rou. When the ka wan, I don't even know what to call this in English, has fats, has lean meat, has intramuscular fat, has cartilage, and it has soft bone. It is so fun to eat. Admittedly, because of how fat the braise is, if you go for a cut that's super fatty, it will still get cloying, no matter how much the seasoning below do. But the car one is a very balanced cut. Easily my favorite. And that only makes the Bak Kut out of Bak Kut Teh. Early on in the series, I told you that people drink tea with this dish, right? To alleviate the richness. And to be honest, I was kind of like trying to convince myself on it. But when the dish is this rich, the tea slots in like the last piece of a puzzle. The experience is so enlightening. Like I'm thinking to myself, of course, Bak Kut Teh. I cannot overemphasize how well balanced this is. You taste it. You taste the herbiness. You taste the shiitake mushroom. You taste the soy sauce. You taste the garlic. But they are all kept in order by the lardiness. Goodness. The next place better be lousier than this. Because if they are all of this standard, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not good enough to differentiate at this level. I'm a bit scared. This is my first of 7 days in Klang. I might fall in love before then. Oh well, down the rabbit hole. I'll see you guys at the next place. We are now at Sang Ko, one of the big names in Klang. And I got myself my favorite kawan and a zhujiao. My goodness, this is so tender. Look at this, this is tendon and I'm cutting through it like it's cake. The zhujiao as well, okay, I am so excited. Let's dig in. Oh my goodness. But before we go further, let's do the zhujiao. You know what? Let's roleplay a grandpa with no teeth. Back in my day, we ate real Bak Kut Teh. The texture for the car one is sublime. Sure, it's fun to roleplay a grandpa biting through the zhujiao, but all the tendons in between the joints in the car one, jelly. You put that on top of your meat and you just slurp it. Don't even bite it, just slurp it. What a texture. The taste, you can tell from its color, really deep. Actually quite light on the saltiness. And a surprisingly strong hit of herbiness. Specifically tangui. This means that although it's very rich, I don't feel that it's cloying at all. Also known as fei puni. This kawan might be one of my favorite things in the series so far. But it comes with a miss. Klang style Bak Kut Teh is known for its very little soup. But at what point do we start calling it ru zhujiao? This is my bowl after I finished my kawan, before I started even drinking 1 spoonful of soup. This is what's left. It is super viscous. Like you look at the drip and the other bowl with the pork trotter, a little bit better, a little less thick and a little more volume. But I have to respect that this is one of the most well-known places in Klang, so it's not for me to say where the line is. So I'm only here to instigate, to feed the idea into the Klang people. At least they will have a stronger say than me, having grown up here. What I do know is that it's very delicious. Also another tip, I think it's intentional that they want to bring their meat a little over, meaning longer cook time, softer. And in my opinion, a little over is better than a little under. But since they bring it a little over, I would recommend going for the joints, kawan specifically, maybe rangku if they have it, I'm not sure. I think those really stand out with a longer cook time. After this, I spent the rest of the week eating Bak Kut Teh in Klang, visiting places like Four Eyes, Seng Huat and Telok Pulai. My favorites were Her and Sang Ko, the 2 places that I just showed you. If I were to summarize their differences, it's 1. Intensity of broth. Some places make their broth more drinkable, serving more volume. If that is something you prefer, you might enjoy the other 3 better. And 2. Texture of the meat. I infer that places like Sang Ko like their meat super tender, whereas I had trouble with the texture in the other places. This is probably also dependent on what time you visit, because most places have their meat going in a big pot, so there's bound to be some variability in texture. I will say this, after eating Bak Kut Teh in Klang for 5 days straight, it was the first time in my life the name Bak Kut Teh made sense to me. But I don't want to get ahead of things, so let's go back to Singapore for our final 2 Bak Kut Tehs. We are now at Song Fa, and I'm sorry I wasn't aware of Song Fa's game. It's now off-peak afternoon, And the queue is, first of all, there's a queue. I have not queued for anywhere in this series. Although I have to say most of the people in the queue are tourists. You all can take a look around. I don't see any Singaporeans, not even the staff, I believe. And they have the whole Hai Di Lao thing going. They offer you really nice calamansi juice while you're queuing. They pass you a QR code so that you can order while you're in the queue. And then when you come in, they just write your table number on it and send your orders there. Super efficient. The service staff do all the pleasantries, the xiao xing sao and all the explanation and stuff. And I cannot believe this is only the second time this series that we have crispy youtiao. It is reheated, but still, I feel like crispy youtiao is the easiest win out of everything on the table, but nobody cares. We have tea as well, now in an even smaller cup. I mean, I get that you need to appreciate the tea, but like, we're now down to drinking 1 teaspoon at a time. Anyway, let's get to the proper stuff. 猪脚. They cut it off the bone for you already, which is, I think it's terrible for presentation because it's all so floppy. But let's see how it tastes. Confession time. I ate quite a bit of song fa growing up. My dad was a fan of this place and he'll always tap bao for us. So it tastes very nostalgic. The good old reliable. Meat very tender, seasoning is on point with a very even scent of spice. If there is a differentiating factor, it is that the 猪脚 previously, sometimes the 桂皮 or the 八角 might be too strong. But here, the 5 spice, 桂皮 and 八角 being 2 of them, is very even. It's very fragrant and very appetizing. But on the overall, very inoffensive, very easy to eat. I feel like 3/4 of the people watching this have tried song fa before. So, let's move on to the Bak Kut Teh. We are back with some long gu. Let's get it. Never gets old. The post-overseas arc blues. I'm skipping the heats because the one hit is that there's a good amount of porkiness in the soup, which is nice, but that is tainted. It might be because of the layer of lard on top of the soup that you are greeted with the stench of pork. This is in the soup, this is in the longo. And it's very obvious coming back from Klang where their pork broth is 100 times more intense, but it has none of the stench. The pork rib itself, I think, could use more time. It is pretty tough. I forgot how many times I had to chew here. Maybe you all can count for me. And you can see it from the meat just not wanting to leave the bone. And the last miss, this will be very embarrassing if I get it wrong, but I'm gonna say it. I think the MSG content is too high, especially for the refill soup. There is this unwarranted tastiness that is making my tongue go crazy. Umami is coating the back of my palate. And for those of you who don't know what umami tastes like, go spend 70 cents at Sheng Siong, buy MSG and eat it. And I don't recall feeling like this for any of the Bak Kut Tehs earlier in this series. Alright, let's wrap things up. I'll see you guys at the last stop. We are now at Yahua along Havelock Rd, another huge name in the local Bak Kut Teh scene, also serving the pepper variant. And not that I want to say, but behind the camera right now, there are 2 of my fans. How can you tell that they are your fans? My fans have a certain look one. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all, see if y'all can tell. Ready? They brought out 2 fans just for me. How nice. They also did the tea thing for me. If anything, the Singapore Bak Kut Tehs today win in service. But this isn't the best Bak Kut Teh service. Let's start with the 猪脚. I prefer this presentation much more to Song Fa's one. Super tender. So, let's give this a go. This is what I would expect if I walk into any hawker center in the country. The braise, the texture, the cut. I walk into any hawker center, pay $5-6. This is what I expect. Not that it's bad, it's tender, you can see it for yourself. The braise does have a layer of fat on top, but otherwise very average. I guess this stage into the series is expected that we say what we wanted to say. So let's move on to the Bak Kut Teh. We do have a nice humongous piece of rib, like my palm for comparison. Damn. Let's get it. Damn, is it the Bak Kut Teh? Or did I change? The rib was decent, nice bite, no stench, but the obvious miss is it's so light. I don't get a lot of pepper, a lot of garlic, and definitely not a lot of porkiness. If this was served as a free soup for like, I don't know, chicken rice or wonton mee, I will be surprised but not impressed. We do a little impromptu bricks test. Look at my chopstick as it submerges. How far until you don't really see the chopstick anymore? There is just not a lot in the soup. And I know it sounds very harsh and I don't want to misrepresent it. It's still decent, but we're in the late game now, so maybe I've changed after Klang. Expectations have changed, but thankfully I did the J-Cho episode where we went to Founders, and this is similar to that. It's just so light. It's so light. Anyway, let's wrap it up. I'll see you guys at the cafe. We are now at plain vanilla, and I got myself a piccolo latte. So cute. Anyway, recap. Klang is Klang. A regional special is only as good as how much the people love it. I mentioned this before, the national dish buff is the people love it very much. The people expect more of the dish. The chefs have to deliver more. The chef also grew up with the dish. So it's a cyclic effect that keeps pushing the average standard up. That you cannot get away with serving a lousy chicken rice in Singapore. Same thing. And Klang people really love the dish. Did you know that Klang people don't normally order tea at their favorite Bak Kut Teh place? They have their own stash that they keep in their car. I paparazzi'd this uncle as Exhibit A. That combined with the exact part of the pig that you want, they are very detailed with the dish. Not to mention it's a culture to come out with your friends and family every Sunday to eat Bak Kut Teh. I'll summarize the whole Klang experience as once you eat their Bak Kut Teh, you'll go, oh, that's why it's called Bak Kut Teh. And then we come to Singapore, of which, please don't believe me. Ignore what I said in this episode. Cause personally, I cannot believe that two huge names in our Bak Kut Teh scene are frankly so mid. I expected some contenders to go up against Tuan Yuan, episode 3, and Ng Ah Seo, last week's one. But it's so far apart. Objectively, I want to say that maybe it's the post-overseas arc blues, but part of me also don't believe it is. I don't know. I actually don't know. Tell me in the comments. Tell me in the comments what your experience with Song Fa and Yahua is. 1 plate I'll walk for the Bak Kut Teh, 2 plates I'll take a bus for the Bak Kut Teh, and 3 plates I'll go anywhere in the city for the Bak Kut Teh. And today's Bak Kut Tehs get 3311. I still don't believe that Song Fa and Yahua are 1 plates. I really want to think that it's just a bad day. From what I've heard about them, no shot they are 1 plate. But if I were to go off what I tasted today, then at the same time, either Her or Mosangkor is not 3 plates. But I will wait until the finale before I give that rating. Which brings us to the end of the real warm-up. Next week, we're gonna run it back and define all of the best Bak Kut Tehs, not to mention moderate the rating, so keep a lookout for that. But before I do that, next week will be, as usual, a filler episode, a best laksa episode, if you would believe it. That will buy me enough time to run a proper finale. But for now, that's all I have for you guys this time. I'll see you in the next video.